How much more evidence do y'all need to see clear as day Kevin Stefanski hates Shedeur? To see clear as day that Kevin Stefanski is trying to sabotage Shedeur. Clear as day that Kevin Stefanski will sacrifice the integrity of the game. He will sacrifice wins because he hates Shedeur Sanders so much. What sense does it make that your rookie quarterback has 350 passing yards? He has 4 touchdowns, 3 passing, 1 rushing, and he is on the verge of an epic comeback to tie the game up. He has a beautiful pass to get the game in striking distance, get that 2-point conversion. And for the 2-point conversion, you elect to not have the quarterback who is the best player on the field? What sense does that make? It makes no freaking sense. But what does make sense? That Kevin Stefanski is trying so desperately to sabotage Shedeur Sanders. And I love when the black community as a collective is right. Because we told y'all this man hates Shedeur. Oh, y'all just being too out there. Y'all doing too much. Y'all too extreme, making it more than what it is. How many times do we have to tell you and show you this man hate him? He hate him. Oh my gosh, I was on a flight. I was celebrating my cousin he was graduating from Texas Southern in Houston. I was on a flight from Houston back to New York, and I paid United Airlines Wi-Fi just so I could watch the NFL games during the 1 p.m. slate. I did that, right? I had to really control myself when I saw Shedeur wasn't on the field for the 2-point conversion. Because otherwise, I would have been screaming out here and making babies cry, and everybody in the plane is looking at me, and I might get on the no-flight list. I had to really keep my composure because I was so mad. I don't remember being this mad about a non-Eagles game in such a long time. That's like an NFL game. This really pisses me off. And another thing, we remember all of y'all that tried to gaslight people and act like the NFL in good faith is saying that Shedeur is a 5th-round pick. There were people on the internet with a straight face that said Dylan Gabriel is better than Shedeur Sanders. Well, he won more at Oregon. People really believed that. And then it was like people said, oh, well, the NFL doesn't think he's that good. So it's no coincidence that a guy leading up to the draft was a consensus first-round pick. First-round pick. It was between him and Cam Ward for the number 1 overall pick. And then out of nowhere, his stock drops and drops and drops and drops. I mean, I have a homie who used to be a Saints fan. And when they didn't pick Shedeur Sanders, he said, I am no longer being a fan, and I don't think anybody in the world can blame him. And Tyler Shuck, he's out here doing some good stuff, but the point remains the same. There were still people in the NFL community playing Monday morning quarterback and saying, well, Shedeur just isn't that good. He isn't that good. Now, I respected the people that said he is that good, but his attitude, teams don't like that. Just call it what it is. Just call it what it is. They don't like his bravado. They don't like his confidence. It intimidates them, and they like to see black quarterbacks come into the NFL thankful. Thankful. They don't like black quarterbacks that they come into the NFL acting like they don't need them. Now, you're going to see with this NIL movement, and you got multimillionaires like Caleb Williams that's making 10-some mil a year in college. Yeah, he's going to pop it when he gets to the pre-draft, and he's not going to go to certain workouts and do the status quo stuff because he don't need y'all. He's already a multimillionaire. versus y'all were used to the black quarterbacks and just players in general, that they came from humble beginnings. Remember that one interview somebody had, and the reporter, and I'm a journalist myself, so I feel like this was a terrible question. How she phrased it, it was terrible. But a reporter asked the mom of like an athlete and said, "How far have y'all come?" And I think the mom was like, "We came from Louisiana." It's like, y'all love this comeback story. You love this. Well, the NFL and this owner is saving you from rags to riches. Like, bruh, that's a part of the reason why they don't like Deion Sanders. They don't like Shedeur Sanders. And it all stems from that. And I would love for people to just keep it a bean and be honest and say, yeah, they don't like him because of that. But you had people actually trying to say, oh, yeah, Shedeur, he's not good like that. He's not good. I mean, Shedeur Sanders is on track to be the best Browns rookie quarterback of all time. Did you know that Shedeur Sanders has a passing touchdown in each of his starts, each of his 3 starts? Only Shedeur and Baker Mayfield since 2000 have done that as rookies. He also joins Aaron Rodgers as the only quarterbacks since 2000 with 4 completions of 50-plus yards in his first 3 starts. I want to list the players in the Super Bowl era that have more 60-yard touchdown passes than Shedeur Sanders in their first 3 career starts. Oh, it's only Shedeur. You know, I want to find the list of Browns rookie quarterbacks to throw for 300 passing yards in the game. Oh, it's Shedeur Sanders. That's it. What about the Browns quarterbacks that have had, not just rookies, just quarterbacks in general, that have had 300 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 25 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown in a game? It's Shedeur Sanders and Otto Graham back in 1948. Let's be honest. Shedeur completely outplayed Cam Ward. And it brings us back to the conversations pre-draft, because it was a real debate. Who's better? Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward. Nobody was saying no Dillon Gabriel, no Tyler Shuck. Nobody was saying any of these guys, bruh. It was Shedeur. It was Cam Ward. Now, the one guy that is really, really surprised, and I'll give my credit to him, was Jackson Dart. I feel like Jackson Dart, he's legit. Like, if he can just not play stupid and not be out here refusing to slide, for what? Then that's the only thing I think that's really going to hinder him, because he might have a great 4 or 5 years, but the way that he's playing, I'm going on a tangent, but the way that he's playing, you could end up, all right, you could be done in 4 or 5 years. You keep playing this way. But it was always between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. And the funny part about it is Shedeur Sanders, as a 5th-round pick, has the expectations of the 1st overall pick. You don't see anybody talking about Cam Ward. You don't see anybody talking about how bad the Titans have been this season, right? But in Shedeur Sanders' first 3 career starts, he has way more press, way more publicity, way more expectations. And every time he has expectations, Shedeur Sanders answers the bell. That's what happens. And so we have to give him credit for that. And I was going to talk about this as soon as I got home, because I cannot believe that Kevin Stefanski would take Shedeur Sanders out the game when he was the reason you got to that point in the first place. He was the best player on the field. On the field. Maybe outside Tony Pollard. Like Shedeur was the best guy on the field. Now, a bunch of games happened today, and I'm going to do more with reacting to like the full NFL slate. That's not just Eagles games, especially if the Eagles aren't playing on Sunday. I would love to like do more of that. Um, the Seahawks are they're cooking. The Seahawks are cooking, and the only thing that makes me hesitant to say the Seahawks, man, they're coming. They're really a championship contender. They're a real threat in the playoffs is because of their quarterback. And when expectations are low, Sam Darnold is a bad brother. But when those expectations rise, you see him turn to Jets, Sam Darnold. And some guys have it, some guys don't have it. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, in those moments, you normally see them rise. But that's actually disrespectful to Hurts and Mahomes because they've actually won it and Josh Allen hasn't. But if you like look at the stats, like Josh Allen in the playoffs, he is a bad brother there as well. But I'll frame it like this: you got guys like Mahomes, like Hurts, that when expectations rise, they play better. Then you got Sam Darnold, you got Jared Goff, you got Dak Prescott, where as expectations rise, you don't play at your apex. You could say Lamar Jackson. You could say Lamar Jackson. Because whenever expectations rise, either in the playoffs or he's facing the Chiefs, this guy doesn't play at his apex. So some guys have it, some guys don't. And that's my one reservation with the Seahawks is, can this guy, Sam Darnold, play like this in the postseason? Because what Mike McDonald is doing in Seattle is extraordinary. I mean, he has back-to-back 10-win seasons. He joins like Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, and like D'Amico Ryans to do that. Current standing coaches in the league right now. So they are really cooking up a storm right there. And JSN, he's been the best receiver in the league. He's been phenomenal. One of my friends, I'll shout him out, Chad, he's in my fantasy league, and he's whooping all our ass. And this guy got JSN in like round 5. And he didn't even really know JSN like that. He was like, all right, I'll just pick him. And he's carrying him. And he got H-Chan, he got C. I mean, he got everybody. I mean, he brought in Tony Pollard, and Tony Pollard got 2 touchdowns today. I mean, shout out Chad. I mean, I guess Chad just always getting them, but JSN has been going crazy, right? Bengals, Bills. Joe Burrow was wheeling and dealing, but then he folded at the end. Had a pick 6, followed it up with another pick. And Josh Allen, when he's on his game, I don't know too many guys that have a higher peak when they're in the zone. And that's what Josh Allen is. Like, he's a more overpowered version of Cam Newton because he has the arm talent with the brute strength, with the physical toughness, and just the accuracy and the precision. That touchdown to Shakir in the beginning of the game, that was a thing of beauty. Thing of beauty. It was 3rd and 16 at the end of the game. And even though the Bengals had back-to-back interceptions and it was looking like it was over, they had a great touchdown at T. Higgins. T. Higgins had himself a day. And it was 3rd and 16. If the Bengals get this stop, they could get a chance to, win the game. Could get the ball back, win the game. And with 3rd and 16, Josh Allen just says, I'm Superman, and he just made a great play. What about that touchdown, that 40-some yard rushing touchdown? That Bengals defense is terrible, but Josh Allen balled out. And for the folks that say he's the best quarterback in the world, I'm not there, but this is a game that you look back and say, no, he's one of one. Nobody is on his level. It kind of reminds me of the game last year against the Rams, where I mean he was just doing everything, right? So Josh is definitely going to give you two or three or four of these type of like extraordinary games where you're looking at this like, is he really the best quarterback in the world? And that's what he did, right? I want to talk about the Commanders, right? Because I'm an Eagles fan, but the Commanders playing Jayden Daniels is coaching malpractice. Everybody in that facility should be fired. They should. And I get, all right, a player wants to play and he is getting paid the big bucks. It's not like he's out here, you know, mining gold somewhere in some cave, or whatever the case may be. Like, he's playing a kid's game, but this is not a kid's game. And that was this dumb, I guess, setup that I had right there. But it's like, he is in a gladiator sport that we try to act like it's a kid's game, but they really be hitting out that junk. Like, it's coaching malpractice that a couple of weeks ago, Jayden Daniels' elbow was Brent. I mean, it was in all directions, and it just simply didn't look too pretty, and that's being generous. Just sit the brother. Sit him. And if we're being honest, Marcus Mariota, he's been better than Jayden Daniels this season. He has. The offense has looked way better under Marcus Mariota. Now, I still think that Jayden Daniels is that dude, and he's going to be a problem for the league for the next 10 years. But you have to preserve this talent. And also realize it's not the year. You brought in Debo for that like 1 year, John, where I guess try to get him. I don't know if they, matter of fact, I know they traded for him. I don't know if they not traded for him. I don't know if they got into like another contract. But you have an old team, and this is what we try to tell y'all, right? With the Commanders. It's like you have an old team. NFL is a young man's game. If you have Bobby Wagner at his age as a starting linebacker for y'all, and you're asking this man to cover in space, what do you expect to happen? If you have a 30-some-year-old wide receiver in Terry McLaurin, just got paid, history will say that's not the best move. But you have one of the oldest rosters in the NFL. This is what's going to happen. Now, they got lucky last year because they had a cupcake schedule and they had a lot of things bounce their way throughout the season. They won one game where a Bears player, and Tyreek Stevenson, was talking to the fans, talking trash. He's late to recover, tries to overcompensate, messes up the play, the ball bounces up, and then it's a touchdown. The Commanders beat the Bears. But too many things went their way last season. It had to even out, and now you're seeing them have a atrocious season. They're eliminated from the playoffs. But just Eagles fandom, all that aside, it's coaching malpractice to have Jayden Daniels out there. Let the guy just heal up, bro. Let the guy heal up. The Buccaneers. It's, Buccaneers fans talked a lot. And they say they own the Eagles and Baker Mayfield MVP. And now y'all are 7-6. Now your season essentially depends on what y'all do against the Panthers these last few weeks. Now Bryce Young and these boys who are super inconsistent, they can win the division. They can win the division. They can win the division having 9 wins and host a playoff game. It sounds crazy, but that's definitely on the table. So, I mean, what a fall from grace from the Buccaneers. To go from, after that Patriots game, it just went downhill. It just went downhill for real, for real. And they've had some injuries. Bucky been out. he's back in. Mike Evans, he been out. You see that just Abuka has kind of hit that rookie wall. He hasn't been as explosive as he was earlier this season. And shout out to the Saints and Kellen Moore and these boys because, hey, Tyler Shaw, like, he's doing some stuff. He's doing some stuff, and you gotta definitely tip your cap to him. And just the whole fight because their season's over. They were 2-10. They were already eliminated. They still got that hunger, still got that fight, and that's what they did. Two last games. Colts, Jaguars. It's sad to see that Daniel Jones, I think, ruptured his Achilles. It looks like it's so. And with Daniel Jones, bro, and this Colts team, I'm not going to say, because hindsight's 2020. Ever since that Sauce Gardner trade, it's been downhill. Now, it's also coaching malpractice. Just like they got Jayden Daniels out here running around and he's not healthy, it's even worse with the Colts because this guy has a broken leg and you have him out probably on hella drugs, hella medication out here. And it got me thinking, they say Anthony Richardson is injured. For y'all to play Daniel Jones on a broken leg. And you got Riley Leonard and Anthony Richardson. It goes to show you how little they think of those two guys. And now it's on the table for the Colts that started off red hot and had the best record in the NFL to miss the playoffs because the Jaguars are red hot right now. Trevor Lawrence is now hitting his stride. He's playing the best ball of his season right now. The Texans' defense is elite. Now CJ Stroud is healthy. Now you can see some things. I think that they will beat the Chiefs later on tonight. So I think that not only do the Jaguars are in the mix, but it's like the AFC South is going to come down to the Jaguars and the Texans. And it's definitely on the table that the Colts missed the wild card because I think the Chargers get in. I think the Bills get in. And outside of that, it's going to be between the Jaguars or the Texans. It's going to be one of them because one of them is going to win the division. And you got four. You got 7 playoff teams, 4 division winners. So it's 3 wild card spots. So again, it's going to be the Bills, the Chargers, and then something between the Texans or Jaguars. And if it's not one of them, it's the Chiefs. So the Colts are going to be out the playoffs. And it's sad because, yeah, I think a lot of times we have to just pump the brakes on a lot of stuff. Because I was told that Jonathan Taylor was having a better year than Saquon Barkley. And we were saying, relax. And when I say Saquon Barkley, I'm talking about they were saying that Jonathan Taylor in 2025 was having a better season than 2024 Saquon Barkley. We were trying to tell y'all, relax, let it play out. This guy Saquon had 2K rushing yards. Let it play out. And then now we're seeing the Colts, JT regress to the mean. That's what we're seeing. And again, it's not on JT. But we have seen multiple times this season in high-stakes games, and the defense is really, really focusing on JT and stopping him, that, he hasn't been as productive. He got 21 carries, 74 yards. Not like the crazy game he had earlier this season. So I still think he's going to be all pro. He's been a top 2 running back. It's been him and Jahmyr Gibbs this season. You can put in Bijan. But it's just, can we pump the brakes, bruh? We pumped the brakes because Saquon had an all-time historic season. And JT is still going to have an all-time season. He's going to be up there and rushing touchdowns and all that stuff. But again, we got to relax. We got to relax on just like crowning guys too early. Like comparing you to Saquon, that's kind of crazy. All right, last thing, Steelers, Ravens. Lamar Jackson has been playing bad. Very bad. And he's playing so bad that I'm genuinely curious, does he want John Harbaugh fired? Because if the Ravens miss the playoffs, you have to fire Harbaugh. Now, I'm of the mindset that if the Ravens had Mike Tomlin, and if Mike Tomlin had Lamar Jackson, they were talking crazy about Mike T. If he has a generational quarterback like that, it's going to be like Andy Reid getting Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be like, y'all was talking so crazy about me. I get a generational quarterback, and now I'm winning championships. I believe if Mike Tomlin had Lamar Jackson, they would at least get to the Super Bowl. Because I know for a fact Mike Tomlin ain't going to have Derrick Henry and these boys not running the ball in the playoffs. This is not going to happen with Mike Tomlin. He's going to say, run the dang football. And he's not even an offensive guy, but he knows common sense. And sometimes with Harbaugh, common sense isn't too common. But the way that Lamar and these boys are playing, they're playing like they don't believe in their coaches. And they should do a clean sweep. Clean sweep. Because Zach Orr has been terrible. On paper, this defense should be way better than what it is. And you got Aaron Rodgers at 42-some years old, dicing y'all up. And shout out A-Rod. He had a rushing touchdown. He was getting DK Metcalf involved, Jaylen Warren. I mean, he was slinging it today. But when you got all those playmakers you have on that defense, and they've had some injuries for sure on the defensive line, but you got all those guys, and you get cooked by the Steelers, whose offense was anemic before they played y'all, that can't happen. So I'm looking forward. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's like the AFC is so wide open. And I think that's what pisses Eagles fans off a lot. And y'all wonder, why are we booing? Why are we so agitated? Well, we have high expectations. And we know that the NFL right now is wide open. There's no clear-cut favorite. There's no clear juggernaut. And if the Eagles can get their act together, they're their biggest enemy. They're their biggest enemy. It's the Eagles beating themselves up. But we know that nobody can go toe for toe with the Eagles. And that's what gets the Eagles fans upset, is because we've seen y'all do it again. And when you don't do it, we're going to let you know that you're playing bad. And so you're looking at the whole NFL right now. You got the Rams. I'll give that respect. You got the Seahawks, but it's a question mark at quarterback. In the big moments, do you trust Sam Darnold? And then in the AFC, what, the Patriots? The Broncos? I know the Broncos beat the Eagles, but I'm sorry, bruh. There is no way in hell I would pick Bo Nix to beat Jalen Hurts. And I know it's not head-to-head, but damn it, it's head-to-head in Super Bowl. That's never happening. That's just never happening. And Vic Fangio is gonna lock up that guy. That's going to happen. Then you got who? The Texans? The Jaguars? Like nobody trusts the Bills like that. That defense, like the NFL's wide open. That's why Eagles fans get so upset. But if you're a Texans fan, if you are a Patriots fan, if you are a Packers fan, any fan base has a legit reason to think it's our year, which makes this NFL season so great. But it also makes the defending champions and their fan base get a little bit irritated, get a little bit upset, because it's like, what the hell are we doing, bro? We got the most talent. We're the best team top to bottom. Can we get this together? And now this brings me to my last point as we talk about these Eagles. I got 2 points to make. Um, I ain't gonna lie, if a team that wasn't my squad did what the Eagles did and bringing a bunny to lift up the vibes in the locker room, I would clown the hell out of them. But hey, it's the Birds. Go Birds. I believe in the bunny. But it's corny. It's corny. It is. Like, if the Cowboys did that, oh my God, I would fry the heck out of them. If the Chiefs, if the Patriots or somebody like that, I'd be like, yo, a bunny? What are y'all on? Like, what are y'all on? Like, again, I gotta keep it real. It's corny. It's corny. And it sets yourself up to, if you don't perform, it's like, well, why would you bring up this whole bunny thing? So I believe in it, but it's corny. It's corny. But somebody said that this could be similar to how when Nick Sirianni shaved his head, when everybody was talking crazy, they went on a run. Maybe this bunny can have that same effect. I don't know, but regardless, I think we can all admit it's corny. It's corny. Now, last thing, something that I really think is corny. There was a report that said Nick Sirianni now is more involved in the offensive game plan and he's speaking up more. I'm like, is this report to say that Nick Sirianni is doing his job? You're an offensive guy. Like, there's no way that Sirianni in offensive meetings just don't say nothing. Like, I would actually be concerned if we're now midway through December and now he's finally speaking up. But it's corny because this got out because Sirianni's camp and the coaching staff, they wanted this to get out. The Eagles wanted this to get out to let people know Sirianni's doing something. And it's just like, you're letting us know he's doing the bare minimum? Breaking news, a doctor is curing patients. Breaking news, a medical student is studying before their final exam. Congrats for doing the bare minimum. Like, I'm not moved by that at all. And I don't buy the whole tricks through the media they're trying to do to prop up Sirianni. Dog, just make the offense better. Like, stop the whole shenanigans and all this, oh yeah, this report here and this report there. Just do it. Just do it. So that's the issue I have with it. I'm tired of the whole hoopla this, hoopla that. Just do it, dog. Just do it. Your homeboy jacking the drawing up. Patullo don't know what he doing. Sirianni, I'm looking for you to right this ship. You ain't got to call plays every John, but damn it, you got to elevate this offense. You're the CEO. If you're a CEO of a company and somebody in your company is not holding up their part, or you see a part of your company that is falling off, it is part of your job as the CEO. It might not be in your actual job description, but sometimes you guys say, all right, you know what? I'm about to just take over this joint real quick. Sometimes as a boss, you got to do that stuff. And that's what it is. So I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I like doing this, especially when the Eagles don't play on Sundays, just talking about the whole NFL. And I feel like y'all want to hear my takes on the full NFL. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Go Birds, baby. And I cannot wait for the Eagles to face the Chargers, and I expect them to show out. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We are out.